Yes guys, what's going on? So, I'm going to keep the intro short and sweet, but essentially if you know who I am on TikTok, you'll know that I am the biggest Raimi Trilogy and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fan in the world. So basically this is the first of a long series of what I'm planning on. I'm just going to basically be doing shit tons of tier lists related to everything about the Raimi Trilogy and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and probably some of Tom and Andrew's versions as well, more tied in with Tobey as well. But yeah, today we're doing the Raimi Spider-Man fights tier list. So obviously it's just every fight that we see in the trilogy. I'm going to rank them based on whether I think they're terrible in D tier. None of them are terrible, by the way, may I just put that out there, or S tier. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first fight here is the finale of Spider-Man 3, a controversial third film in the trilogy. A lot of people say it brought the trilogy's what's the word for it, stature, or the trilogy was, you've seen how good Spider-Man 1 was, and then its successor Spider-Man 2 was also insane, literally couldn't get any better, probably the best superhero film we've ever seen. And then Spider-Man 3 let a lot of people down. Me personally, I think it's one of the most enjoyable films, most rewatchable films I've ever seen. So I have no hate towards any of the films or any aspects of the trilogy, because I'm just biased, or whatever you want to call me. But back to the subject. The final fight was insane. Obviously started off rough for Toby, or Peter, sorry, and then obviously saved by Harry. Was sad because we saw Harry's death, and Eddie Brock's death, but overall this fight was very good. People complain about the CGI. I don't think that's an issue for me. It was 2007, the film was made in 2006, like come on. And it wasn't even that bad anyway, people just over exaggerate it. We saw Sandman, Venom, the New Goblin and Spider-Man. There's really not a lot to hate about it. Also was like the redemption and the return of Spider-Man, so for that reason I'm just going to put it in A. I don't think it was good enough for S, but it's definitely not anything below A. The second fight we've got here is the first fight we see, actually no, the second fight we see in the trilogy, that's a lie. And it's the wrestling fight against Saw, is that his name? It's been a while since I watched Spider-Man 1. I think it was Saw. Oh no, Bonesaw, that's it, isn't it? This fight was good. It was the first time we see Peter use his powers. There was the first glimpse of how Tobey's Spider-Man would have been portrayed, with the sort of quips and the jokes that he was throwing out. Good fight. Good build up to the fight, but I mean, it's just that it's like part of the origin story, isn't it? So I'm gonna put it in B, because it definitely wasn't a C. It was a good fight. I'm just being biased. I'm gonna have to put it in C. Right, no more needs to be said about that. This one, the picture's a bit poor, but I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, I know it's the first New Goblin encounter in Spider-Man 3, where he gets picked up off the moped after seeing Aunt May. This fight, people also say the CGI was bad. Obviously there are bits where you notice it, where it's poor and it lacks sort of the detail, but again, it's 2006, like, cut him some slack. Good fight, some proper good scenes in this. The bit where Harry's like coming down on the glider just before he talks to him, and then Peter realises who it is. Definitely better than the Bonesaw fight. Was it better than the finale? No. Was it on par? I'd say yes, but to be unbiased, I'm going to put it in B. Now we've got the Spider-Man 1 Green Goblin finale fight. Insane fight. Obviously I'm just gonna check along here. Yeah, so this includes everything from the call in the hospital where MJ gets captured, all the way through to Norman's death. Honestly, amazing fight. Yeah, I don't think I really need to say much more on it. I'll put it in S. I wish there was another tier, because obviously there is a fight coming that I'm sure everyone will agree with me that deserves to be in its own category, but we'll get to that. Here is the Spider-Man 2 finale fight with Doc Ock. This one was alright. To be honest, I think I'd have to put it in B. It had some good scenes, like obviously Toby with his strength feat, saving MJ, catching the collapsing building. Had some powerful sort of scenes between the villain and the hero, where they reconnect and Doc Ock sort of comes back to reality and decides to go out as the good man. But in terms of action, what you want to see in a superhero fight, it just doesn't live up to the Spider-Man 3 finale or the Spider-Man 1 finale. But this being the finale fight, which you'd expect to be the best fight in the film, actually wasn't, and we will get to that. I think you know what I mean. This is the first encounter with Sandman in Spider-Man 3. It was alright. It was a bit short. Obviously Peter went into it very cocky, ended up getting his ass beat, and yeah, Sandman proving his worth as a decent villain there. Obviously better than the Bonesaw fight, but I think it stays in the same category. It's not as good as these two, so I'll have to put it here. This is one of my personal probably top 3 in the trilogy. This is the second encounter with Sandman, and the first glimpse of the beast that symbiote Spider-Man is, and especially Toby's version of symbiote Spider-Man. Yeah, overall sick fight. The dialogue between the two at the start, where he's sort of explaining his motives. Remember, Ben Parker, what do you want from me, all that. Yeah, the acting was on point, the action was on point, the voice lines were on point. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in A. It's definitely better than these two, but I don't think it's as powerful and impacting enough to make it to the S tier. This is the second fight between Harry and Peter, right after he does his famous wink and tells him that he's the other guy seeing MJ, and obviously symbiote Spider-Man goes ballistic. It's definitely not A tier. It's definitely not C tier, but I don't think it deserves to be in B. You know what I'm going to have to do here? I'm going to have a rejig, because I'm going to put this in C, and I'm going to put the Bonesaw fight down to D. Even though it was good, obviously don't get me wrong, I think all of these fights are good, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to put it down here. Yeah, this fight, it was good, but I think I would have rather seen more. I feel like this is a wasted scene where we could have seen more action in the symbiote suit. Instead we got the corny look where he's like the emo and everything. Still a great fight, but it could have been better. The Doc Ock first encounter at the bank, what a fight. Honestly, the little fight sequence where they're falling off the building together and then Toby headbutts him, one of my favourite action points of the trilogy, to be honest. Great first encounter with the villain. Again, voice lines were on point. The swinging in this, for a film made in 2003, released in 2004, you cannot complain about the CGI, and I'd even argue that the CGI was better than some of the CGI in the 2007 Spider-Man 3. But obviously, you know, the scenes are much more advanced and technical, as opposed to sort of like Doc Ock. You've got the new Goblin flying around on some futuristic glider. It's quite a lot harder to create with CGI and stuff, especially in those days. But yeah, this fight, insane. I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. Definitely one of my favourites. This is the second encounter. And you know what I'm realising right now? Is that in this list, I don't think that there is the first encounter of Green Goblin at the World Unity Festival, which is a bit annoying. So I'll talk about that one quickly. It wasn't great. It was the first time we seen Spider-Man. I saw Toby in his suit. Where would I put it? I'd probably put it in C, to be honest. It's not one that comes to mind when I think of the fights, hence why the guy that made this has probably left it out, to be fair, because he just forgot about it. But definitely not a D tier with the Bonesaw fight, definitely in C tier. As for this one, the burning building, obviously the famous line, "You're pathetically predictable, like a moth to the flame," all of that. It was good. It's not a D, it's not a C. I think it is a C, actually. I've got to stop being biased. Spider-Man 1 can't have all the glory, look. Got an S tier here. Oh, and a D tier there, actually. I'm chatting shit. I'm going to save the best till last, of course. Got the Flash Thompson fight in high school. The first fight we see after Peter gets his powers. Compared to all of these, I mean, this one was short as well, but can you even call this a fight scene? It lasted about 30 seconds. Obviously, first glimpse at the spider sense, and Toby actually cooked him, to be fair, with that. I don't even know what he did, 3 blocks and a punch or something, backflip, double backflip as well. It was entertaining. Was it better than the Bonesaw fight? I'd say it was on par. It wasn't better than any of these 3, so I'm gonna have to put it here. So far I think I'm doing pretty well, but obviously we've left this till last. This is in a league of its own. I'd even say this still holds up today as one of, if not the best superhero fight sequence Hollywood or films have ever seen. Everything from the start of Peter or Spider-Man swinging in, right to the end where we get the whole he saves the train, and then it carries on all the way till we get to the New Yorker encounter, where they see his identity and they keep it a secret. Like, honestly, this fight, it has some of my favourite scenes or frames of Spider-Man in motion as well. The swinging was on point. The fight, like, everything about it. This is probably the best example of Toby's fighting style because it's so brutal. It's like in the headbutt in the bank fight. It's just straight haymakers, straight jabs, straight crosses, straight uppercuts, everything. Great fight, great villain, great film. Not much more needs to be said. I think everyone will agree with me here, and I'm even going to put it here because I want it to be in the top. I think it deserves to be not even in a 1 above S, like 3 above S. It's so good. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. You can leave your opinions in the comments if you think, you know, there's definitely some debate around it. I don't think you can debate on these 2. Maybe the Spider-Man 3 is in S as well, I don't know. But yeah, not much to fault on any of it really. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, obviously subscribe, check my TikTok out, it's just the same name, SPMCU. And yeah, thank you for watching.